that pallet deck to go off. I don't think it's gonna go nowhere. It's just. All right. Here we go. You'll be famous. All right. Cool. This is how they arrive. 1,400 pounds of steel. This is the control box right here. And there goes the freight company. All the packing material is off. Now I have to figure out how to get this monster out of the crate. I'd like to point something out to you guys if you're interested in this lift. This drawing here is part of the reason I got this. I know it's gonna be hard to see, but the maximum or the listed width between the two ramps is 70, basically 70 inches, 70.06. When I measure this, we are at 76 inches width, maybe even closer to 77. So that is something that you're gonna have to factor in for the space you have. For most of us, that's not gonna have a big impact. It just, for me, it impacts the tile placement because I have to pull 6 feet worth of tile. Now I have to pull another foot because it's actually wider than I expected. Here's a word of advice for you guys, because I'm in a little bit of a pickle. Make sure that this tab is facing the direction that you want to pull it. So right now you can see that it's not. So really I need this whole thing turned 90 degrees. What you're gonna need is 3 guys, a dolly, a floor jack, like a 3.5 ton, and you have to be willing to slide it off of the pallet. So you gotta get the pallet in position if you have a residential delivery. Make sure they face it the correct direction. And from here, with a little bit of creativity and some physics, you can get this thing slid, and you can see I used some plywood. You can get it slid onto your floor, and then from here, it is super easy to move this thing. What you do is you put it under like that, and it snaps into place, and now you can move your lift however you see fit. Once you have your lift in the approximate position that you want it to be in, you're gonna need some of these pliers to get these clips off here so you can put the ramps on each side. So I'm actually considering moving it to this side, but that's gonna require me to take all that crap down from up there and move it over here. So I better be sure that that's what I wanna do. The other thing that's no fault of Stratus is that the lines all come out on the upper left side. That kind of poses an issue for me because that is a very highly trafficked area right there. And if I was to move it over to here, it actually would be a little bit better because then I could put the control unit over here. So you can see my dilemma here. It requires a little more planning than you might imagine, and that's kind of where I'm at now. Quick update here. I have successfully moved the rack system to the other bay, and now I have to move that lift to there. I just noticed an assembly issue that I wanted to show you guys. So, see this lever right here? It's supposed to be on the side with this handle, so you can pull that up and then release it down. Every single one of them, I should say 3 out of 4 of them are correct. These are all correct. And then I noticed this one, it's not coming out of there. So when this was assembled, wherever it was assembled, they put this in backwards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this pin out of here and then I'm gonna flip it around and then put the pin back in. Maybe someone assembled it on a Friday. C-clip back on this side, it'll be all done. I got this side cleared up. I'm gonna clean up that oil. I do want to mention that if you need to make a big move, this is how you put these wheels on that come with the kit. You're gonna take this little jack thingy and you're gonna put it under there, and that'll raise it up enough to slip these not casters, but wheels on. Now you can move the lift with a lot more flexibility. Guys, I just noticed this safety actuator. Look at, there's a fastener missing right there. I don't think it's not a huge structural element of this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that one and run another fastener in that. When I pull my car up on this thing, it's not a problem to get up and over it, and there's no clearance issues. I have 18mm roll center adapters in the front, so it lowered the car a little bit. But the problem I'm having is this thing is sliding on the floor. So what I'm thinking is that I'm gonna need to anchor this or run some high shear strength bolts, concrete bolts down here and here. And that'll prevent it from moving this way when the car goes up and down. Because what's happening is the tire's just simply pushing that thing and the whole thing's sliding. So I'm gonna give it another try. I tried putting some ramps to alleviate the angle that it's hitting. So I'm gonna move all this junk right here and kind of take a look and see how this thing fits. You guys are gonna have to pick up your own plug. I'm going with a 15 amp, 110 volt plug. I'm not an electrician. They do recommend a 30 amp circuit, but I've heard guys running 20 amp circuits. I'm gonna try it on a 15 amp circuit. If it doesn't work, it will just blow the breaker. In the United States, the small prong is the hot wire, the large blade is the neutral, and of course that's the ground. Okay, next you're going to need hydraulic oil. I'm going to use AW46. AW46 is for warmer climates, and if you are in a garage that will maintain its heat well. AW32 is for the winter time if you are in a very cold environment. So I'm going to go with AW46. I actually found this at Tractor Supply for $41 in my area, and it's 5 gallons, and I only need 1.6 gallons for that. On a 15 amp circuit, it works okay. So here we go, we're gonna bring it up. So it automatically stops. Now, if you want to lock it in position, you hit the down lock button. Now it's locked. Unfortunately, I just found another pretty significant error in the user guide. On page 7, the hydraulic fluid flow valve, it says that a clockwise adjustment will speed it up, and a counterclockwise adjustment will slow it down. That's incorrect. It's backwards. It's opposite of what's shown in this guide. To slow it down, you actually want to turn it clockwise, and I'll show you. It's this valve here. What you do is, yes, you do take this jam nut and you spin it counterclockwise to loosen it, and then you put an Allen key in here and you turn it to the right, which would be clockwise, to slow down the downward motion of the lift. So clockwise slows it down, counterclockwise opens the valve up and makes it go faster on its downward motion. I found this out the hard way as my car came flying down. It didn't come down like, it didn't like fall down. It just came down really fast because I was following the directions. It has an alarm that's very loud. I might throw a piece of tape over the top of that thing. So when you hit down, it's really loud. So here we go. Here, put your finger over that while I'm filming. So you can see it quiets it down a lot if you put like a piece of tape on there. Okay. So to prime the hydraulics, you need to do this a few times. Up, down, without a load on it. I will do a part 2 on this, and I will show you guys more of this lift in action and some of the features and how I'm going to get the GS up there and everything. Really excited about this. 25 years, over 25 years working on cars on my back. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. It's horrible. Your knees hurt, your back hurts. There's just no clearance under there. So this is a game changer, and it's affordable. I know affordable is subjective, but really, truly, this thing is pretty sweet.
Woo-hoo.